There are some brand new and, in my opinion, really great changes to the Disney World app that just rolled out. We're here at Disney's Art of Animation Resort, and we're going to head around to the different parks, kick the tires on these new changes, and since it's the day after Halloween, let's see what Christmas decorations are up. We got a big day ahead, so let's get to it. Hi ho everybody, this is Rob with Ear Scouts coming to you from Disney's Art of Animation Resort. We are heading over to the Skyliner for a big day, heading around to the different parks. Our number one mission is to check out these new changes that Disney just made to the My Disney Experience app. In a nutshell, they've gotten rid of the Future Plans section of the app and merged it, in my opinion, pretty elegantly with today's plans and created a new section called My Plans, which in the end makes a lot more sense. They've also redone what we used to call the tip board. It is now more appropriately called Wait Times and Showtimes, and they've made some other changes under the hood in there as well. We're going to take you through both of these changes today, and we're going to show you how you would use these different features in a real-world day in the parks. So let's hop aboard the Skyliner and head to our first park of the day, Hollywood Studios. We have arrived at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Sadly, they have not put up any of the decorations along Hollywood Boulevard yet, but the stars are up here on Sunset Boulevard, and I also saw some of those snowflakes in front of the Chinese theaters. So definitely decorations are starting to go up, and I'm guessing the next few days probably the rest are gonna follow. But now let's get back to our main mission today, which is talk about those new app changes. One of the biggest things that's gonna be affected by those changes, of course, is Lightning Lane Multipass. That's because the tip board is where we would have gone to book Lightning Lanes, and that My Day view is a place where we would have gone to see what Lightning Lanes we had booked. Now the good news is you can still do both of those things in both of those locations, but they are just a little bit different. I went ahead and got Lightning Lane Multipass today so that I could show you how these changes work, but in order to do that, I gotta go tap in at my first attraction of the day so I can unlock my ability to book some more Lightning Lanes and show you how it works. So let's go check in at the Hollywood Tower Hotel and ride our first attraction of the day, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. So what I want to talk about now is the screen formerly known as the tip board. The tip board is now named much more appropriately Wait Times and Showtimes, because that's basically what it is. I don't know why it was called the tip board. I think there was maybe some arcane reason from back in the old Genie Plus days that was a reason it was called tip board, but it was just confusing to people, and I'm glad that they renamed it to something that makes a lot more sense. So on the old tip board screen, there was a My Day tab. You could go back and forth between the tip board and My Day, and that kind of helped you to plan out your day as you were booking Lightning Lanes and seeing what you had scheduled next. Now, however, Wait Times and Showtimes is shared with dining. And at first I thought that was an odd choice, but now that I'm actually in the park and physically using it, it makes a whole lot more sense. Look at what happens when I tap on that dining tab. It shows me all the different restaurants where I can place a mobile order, and it shows me those table service restaurants that have a walk-up wait list available. This is super handy as you're going about your day, because you're going to be looking at wait times and show times to help you decide where you want to go next, but maybe you're hungry and the thing you want to do next is eat. It's now all conveniently here in the same location. So I did notice there's a very short walk-up wait list for the lounge at the Hollywood Brown Derby. Kind of in the mood for that Brown Derby Derby salad. So let's get on that walk-up wait list. We do have to be relatively close to the restaurant in order to join it. So let's head over that way and grab a quick bite to eat. And wouldn't you know it, by the time we got over here, there was no longer any walk-up wait list availability. However, there was still some availability by dining in the main restaurant, so why not? We'll go have a fancy salad instead. Let's head inside the Hollywood Brown Derby. Well, that was an absolutely delightful lunch break. Wasn't really planning on doing a fancy table service meal today, but why not? Treat yourself every now and then. I do love actually a table service meal in the middle of the day because that's usually when things are the busiest. If you're here in the summer, it's when things are the hottest. So it is a great time to sit down and enjoy some AC. If you've never been to the Hollywood Brown Derby, they are most famous for their Cobb salad, also for their grapefruit cake. So of course we had to try both of those, but I gotta say, my favorite thing from the meal today was the scalloped potatoes. Those were delicious. I've never had those before. They're offered as an enhancement to any of the different entrees. But right now, I want to talk to you about this updated version of My Day, now called My Plans. As we mentioned before, the future plans section and today's plans have been kind of smushed together and become the new My Plans page. So I want to kind of go through and show you what you're going to find on this updated screen. At the top, you're going to see all of your different days that you have plans for. So this could be park tickets or park pass reservations if you have an annual pass or a non-date-based ticket. This could also be dining reservations. Maybe you're not going to a park, but you're going to one of the Disney World dining establishments. Your reservation would create an entry here. It could also be a hotel stay. If you've got a visit planned to any of the Disney World hotels, that would also pop up here. Now, if you want to make plans for a day that's not already showing, just swipe all the way to the end and there's a button there for Add a Day. When you tap on that Add a Day button, it's actually going to activate the old Disney Genie. I'm not talking about Genie Plus, I'm talking about the free Disney Genie service. Genie, thankfully, is still around because that's what you need to use if you want to pin rides to the top of your view when you're booking or modifying lightning lanes. And that is key. If you've watched some of our other lightning lane strategy videos, you know pinning rides to the top makes it much easier to get competitive times on really popular attractions. We're going to actually redo all of our lightning lane guides now that things have changed up here in the app, just so that you can see with all the latest features how to get the most out of your lightning lane adventures. Now, if you're planning on park hopping while you're here, you don't want to stay in the same park during your visit, there's an easy way on this My Plans page to plan for your next park. When you tap on that, you're just going to let it know which park you're going to next, and there's a little slider where you can choose what hours you plan to be in that next park. Now, this is really helpful because not only is this going to help Disney Genie suggest to you when you might want to ride certain attractions based on the times you're going to be at the park, it also works hand in hand with the Lightning Lane service. Let's go ahead and set up for multiple parks. We could actually make preferences for all of the Disney World parks in the same day. I did find, however, that it will only show 3 parks at a time. So if you've got plans at more than 3 parks, it does limit to those 3 in this view, but it will still save your preferences for that 4th park. So in terms of pinning those rides, it still works at all 4 parks. It's just you'll only see 3 in this view. So I went ahead and I planned out my day, and I had different hours set for each of the parks I plan to visit. Now watch what happens to my pinned attractions. These are the ones that I told Disney I was most interested in. When a pinned attraction had a lightning lane available during the time I was planning on being at that park, there is a handy dandy button right there to tap in and book that lightning lane. Now this is assuming 1, that we have lightning lane multipass, 2, that we have a slot open, meaning that we haven't used all 3 of our lightning lane slots. And finally, it matters that the lightning lane that's available is during the time you plan to be in the park. Look at Haunted Mansion here. There were lightning lanes available, but they weren't available during the time I told Jeannie I was going to be in the park. But when I went back and I edited those preferences and changed that time, voila, it did suggest that lightning lane for Haunted Mansion for me to book. Now, if I didn't have lightning lane already, there would be a button here that suggests that maybe I want to purchase lightning lane and add that to my plans for the day. It's also going to show me the times that I should maybe consider doing the attractions that I've said are important to me. It's going to basically let me know what the expected wait time is going to be during that time period, whether it's going to be high or low, and it's always going to be looking for the lowest wait time for those attractions when you're planning to be at that park. But as you can see, whether you're using Lightning Lane or not, this My Plans view is a great way to keep track of all the stuff you've got going on in your day and the things that you've prioritized. It makes it really easy to tap in on any of these things in your plans and make changes. So if there was a lightning lane that you had booked, you could tap right on it and choose Modify Plan and change that to a different time or a different attraction right there in that screen. It lets you know at the very top if you have a lightning lane slot open. If it's time to book another lightning lane, it'll remind you right there to tap in and book it. But maybe best of all, for those of us who are serial planners, this is a great tool that you can use before you even get here. You can add in all of your different days and you can tap through each of those days and see all of your plans as you build them out. And this is really helpful, not just when you're here on your park day, but as you're planning your future park days. But right now, we are still in the middle of our park day, and we've got another lightning lane that's ready to use. Let's head over to Toy Story Land and ride Slinky Dog Dash. So much fun. I love riding that ride every time I get a chance to ride it. You know, we've been making these videos for 4 years, and when we started, I kind of wondered if I was going to start taking things for granted or maybe just not enjoying the parks as much. I gotta say though, 4 years on, and I still love every moment of it. Even a day like today, where it's pretty crazy busy. It's a little chaotic here in Hollywood Studios today. Definitely glad we are using Lightning Lane. But right now, we are leaving Hollywood Studios to head to our second park of the day. We are off to Magic Kingdom. Now, Disney has said that there will not be holiday decorations up at Magic Kingdom until the 2nd. And from what I can see, it looks like maybe they're sticking to that. There might not be anything there decorations-wise, but we do have some lightning lanes to ride, and we have some more tips to share about those new changes to the app. So let's hop on the bus and head over to Magic Kingdom. We have arrived at the Magic Kingdom, and normally on November 1st, you do see a whole lot of Christmas decorations up already. Not seeing a lot as we come in, but I did notice one thing. The planting that's right in front of the train station as you're coming into the park, that was Mickey with like a Halloween mask, and now it has been changed to something that's kind of white and red, thinking maybe that's the beginning of the new holiday theme. So something is afoot, but not very much, to be honest. Tomorrow, November 2nd, is when Disney has announced that we're going to see a lot more holiday decorations here at Magic Kingdom. Of course, our real mission here is we have a couple of lightning lanes lined up, and I do want to show you another feature on this new My Plans page. So you'll see when we go look at that page now, Hollywood Studios is no longer up at the top. We're done with Hollywood Studios, and it starts with the next thing in our plan, which is Magic Kingdom. You'll also see a button there where you can view your plans on a map. And this is super helpful. When I tap on that button, you can see both of my lightning lanes that I have booked, along with the times that they're booked for and where they are on the map. This is, of course, super helpful for people who aren't as familiar with the park. You can look at everything on the map and kind of make your plan for which direction you want to head first, and maybe even plan out where you want to go after that to make your day make the most sense, hitting all the things you have on your list. The next plan on our list, however, is to go ride the Haunted Mansion. Tomorrow is Dia de Muertos, so let's celebrate a little early. We'll head over to Haunted Mansion and pal around with 999 of our favorite happy haunts. Thus far, we've been talking about all the things I really love about these new changes to the app. However, there are a couple of things we should talk about that I do not love. One of those things is actually not new, and that is that the pinning system, essentially the Disney Genie, where you set your preferences and you choose which rides are pinned to the top. That system is very buggy, especially when you have multiple parks selected. It tends to forget your selections and you have to reset them. But that leads me to the other thing that I don't like about this new change, and this one is new. It used to be, when wait times and show times was called the tip board, there was a little button there that said edit selections. And you could tap on that button and fix whatever wasn't pinning correctly. Now, unfortunately, that button has been removed, and in its place, occasionally you will see a message that you can use the Disney Genie to set your preferences, to set those selections. But it's not a link. It doesn't actually take you to the Disney Genie. And also, I think this is confusing for people because now there's not a lot of places in the app where it actually calls it Disney Genie. It's usually called setting your preferences. So people might not even know where to go to set those preferences. So this is definitely going to confuse people. I really hope they change this back and add in that edit selections button, or at the very least, make a button that specifically says Disney Genie so that people know where to find Disney Genie if they're looking for him. But in order to make sure that you know how to find Disney Genie should this problem happen to you, I'm going to show you what I did when my Epcot selections disappeared from the wait times and show times. I started by going to the main menu, which is down there in the bottom right, and then I went into my plans. I looked to see if Epcot was already listed in my plans because I did make selections for Epcot. Unfortunately, they were gone from there. I did not see them anymore. So what I did then was to plan for my next park. And then I was able to add Epcot back in, and you'll see it actually remembered what my selections were. So it seemed to have known that I selected them. There was just some weird glitch that caused it to forget. After I reconfirmed those selections and went back into wait times and show times, sure enough, they were pinned again. So I'm not sure what causes it to forget, but that is how you remind it. Before we head off to Epcot, however, we have one last mission here at Magic Kingdom. I booked the Jungle Cruise because very soon now, this ride is going to become the Jingle Cruise, and I'm just curious to see if any of those holiday decorations have popped up along the river. Let's go find out.
We're off to a great start.
No jingle in the jungle yet, I'm afraid. I did keep an eye out for any signs of holiday decorations. Nothing yet. I spoke to a cast member though, and they said November 3rd. That's the day you're gonna see all the jingle on the Jungle Cruise. With that, we are done here at Magic Kingdom. Our next stop is the monorail to head over to Epcot. I do want to show you on our way over, however, some tips that I use to book our next lightning lane. So when you're booking a lightning lane from scratch, a lot of times you're going to start with that wait times and showtime screen. Couple things that can make your life easier when you're doing that. Number one, this screen is going to show you all the different rides and attractions, including those that don't have lightning lanes. However, there's a handy little toggle up there. Tap on that and it's going to limit it to just attractions that offer lightning lane, and that'll make it easier for you to find what you want to book next. As we talked about earlier in this video, pinning is very important. You want to have those rides pinned to the top so that as soon as you refresh, if there's a good time for them, you can tap in quickly and grab it. But I'm going to show you another trick that makes it even easier. This is kind of an advanced lightning lane booking trick. For me, I like to limit myself to having just 2 attractions pinned, maybe 3 max. Because if I'm trying to get a tough to book ride, I want it to pop up right there at the top as soon as I load it. And if there's a time available I want, I can tap in quickly and grab it before someone else does. But let me show you something that makes that even easier. You see how normally when I refresh, I have to scroll down just a little bit to see that second attraction in the list. However, if you tap into that first attraction and then tap back, it will then jump to that attraction every time you refresh. So watch this. You refresh after tapping back in, and voila, it jumps right to that attraction, which makes it easy for you to see both of those times every time you refresh. If you found that tip helpful, stick around because we got 2 more parks to visit, and we still got a few tricks left up our sleeve to show you about these new changes in the app. We have arrived at Epcot just in time for our lightning lane over at Frozen Ever After in Norway. It's also where I'm thinking we might find some early holiday decorations. Around the World Showcase is usually where you'll start to see things pop up. Here in the front of the park, I feel like you don't usually see stuff until we get to closer to Festival of the Holidays time. We've spent a lot of this video talking about the lightning lane applications in that new My Plans page. But it's also very helpful even if you're not using lightning lane. One of the things that's helpful, it's going to of course show you the attractions that you've pinned, the ones you've said that you're interested in, and it's going to suggest to you when you might want to do that attraction, when it's going to have the best time. But it's also going to suggest to you some other attractions you might want to consider that are nearby your existing plans. In my case, it suggested I should check out the Discovery Trails over at Animal Kingdom, which is a cool suggestion because that's one of those attractions a lot of people don't think about and don't even realize is there. So when you tap on that, you can get more information about it. You can see where it is on the map. And if you want to add it to your plans, you just tap on that plus sign and boom, it's added to your plans for the day. Another helpful attraction related thing that's in this My Plans page, tap on any attraction, lightning lane or non-lightning lane, it doesn't matter. And a menu is going to pop up. One of the options is to get directions. And when you tap on that, it's actually going to show you a map of the park. It's going to show you basically how to get from where you are to where that attraction is. If that attraction's in a different park, you can actually tap on a button that'll give you transit directions and tell you how to use Disney transportation to get there. And it's going to give you an estimate of how long it's going to take to get from where you are to that attraction. Let's actually test this out. I'm going to see how long it thinks it's going to take me to walk from here to Frozen Ever After, and then we'll time it. We'll see how accurate the My Plans page is. All right, I just checked with the app. And it thinks that from here, basically right outside of Creation Shop, thinks it's going to take me 7 minutes to walk to Frozen Ever After. I definitely think I can beat that time, even without doing a brisk walk. So we're going to casually walk from here to Frozen and see if we can beat that 7-minute mark. Let's go do it. 5 minutes and 30 seconds. We got here so quickly, actually, that we were a minute early for our lightning lane. That's why it glowed blue when I tapped in. But thankfully, the cast member let us come in a minute early. So now let's go ride Frozen Ever After. I have been all over the World Showcase and I found one place that was decorated. Plume et Palette is the one place I found that is actually decorated for the holidays, and it's quite lovely inside. They did a great job. I'm surprised though, because normally the day after Halloween, it's like magic at Disney World. All of the Halloween stuff is gone, and poof, like magic, it is Christmas everywhere. Well, mainly in the Magic Kingdom, but a little bit everywhere. I guess the elves are taking a well-deserved day off this year. I do think we're going to see a lot more later in the week. Of course, there are the holiday parties beginning this weekend at Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. We'll be there covering those, so if you want to see those videos, be sure to subscribe to this channel and ring that bell so you'll be notified as soon as they come out. But I feel good about this last park. I have a premonition that we're going to see a lot of holiday decorations up at Animal Kingdom. It's actually not a premonition. I was there yesterday and they're already up. So let's go check out the holiday stuff at Animal Kingdom, and we'll share our final tips for the new changes to the app. Let's go do it. We have arrived at our final park of the day. Park number 4, my favorite park, Animal Kingdom. And I wanted to end here because it is dark and this park is still open. That is surprisingly rare. The park was actually open until 8 o'clock tonight. So I wanted to take advantage of this because this park really is beautiful at night. It's sad that it's so rare that it stays open past dark. But when it does, we're going to take advantage of it. We're going to take a look at some lovely holiday decorations, and then we're going to do a lightning round of final tips and suggestions for these new changes on the app. Womp, womp, womp. So the holiday decorations are, in fact, here at Animal Kingdom. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, Disney's decided not to light them yet. So we got to see some holiday decorations in the dark. I think that whole side of this video, the idea of, oh, let's go look at holiday decorations, that's been a little bit of a fail. We have not done so well with that. But when it comes to kicking the tires on these new changes with the app, I think we've done pretty good. We've gotten through a lot of stuff, and we do still have some more things to cover. So we're going to do a quick lightning round. We're going to talk about some things that we didn't mention during the course of our day. The first of which is that big old button that you see right there on the My Plan screen called Add Plans. This is essentially like a really helpful shortcut. It'll jump you right over to the Wait Times and Showtimes page. If you haven't purchased Lightning Lane, it would take you to Purchase Lightning Lane, and once you have it, it'll take you to Book Lightning Lanes, which incidentally is that same Wait Times and Showtimes page. You can also jump to book a dining reservation from here, or to place a mobile order, and there at the bottom is something we haven't seen in a while. It's a button for the virtual queue. Now, right now, thankfully, nothing at Disney is using a virtual queue, so you don't need to worry about that, but I'm guessing the fact that it's there means we are going to be seeing some more virtual queues in the future. On the way over here, I actually used this Add Plans button to place a mobile food order. I placed an order for here at Flame Tree Barbecue. We're actually gonna be able to pick that up in just a moment. But I wanted to show you, now that we kind of have a variety of different plans here at Animal Kingdom, what a map of those plans looks like. So you can see on there, our mobile order shows up. Our lightning lane that we have over in Pandora shows up. The ride that we said we were interested in doing, Expedition Everest, it gives us the time on there that it recommends we go do that. And it also has a recommended time for that suggestion it made for the Discovery Island trails. All these things are there on that map, and we can kind of see again how we might want to plan this out with the rest of the night that we have left. For me, however, I'm realizing that maybe we have a few too many plans. And the good news is it's actually really easy. In the course of your day, if you need to change gears and cancel some things, it's easy to do that as well. You can just tap on that lightning lane, for example, and a menu pops up. One of the options there is to cancel that lightning lane. If you only want to cancel for some people in the group, you can do that as well. Whenever you cancel, it's going to ask you to confirm which members of your party you want to cancel for. So you can just remove some people if they wanted to go do something else and the rest of you wanted to ride. But in this case, I think we're just going to cancel that lightning lane. I don't think we're going to have time for that. We're just going to enjoy some dinner here. Now, to get rid of those attractions that are not lightning lanes, you have two options. One is you can choose I did this. So if you actually did the attraction, you tap on that to clear it from your list. With lightning lanes, of course, it knows when you did them because you tap in at the ride and then it knows to clear it. But with these other attractions where you're not using lightning lane, you need to let the system know. And of course, if you didn't actually do the attraction but you want to remove it, you can use that button at the bottom to remove from your plans. Last but not least, I want to talk about the thing I like most about this change that Disney's made to My Disney Experience. This new My Plans page, I think, is one of the best additions to My Disney Experience in a while, especially for folks who are planners. If you're really excited about your upcoming Disney trip, you can come in here months or even potentially a year before you're going to arrive, and you can start planning out your days. You can put in the things that are your must-dos. As you add dining reservations or your hotel reservations, you're going to see those things populate in the My Plan section. And it really is a great way for you to visualize what your trip is going to be. You can open up maps of the park and see how all the different things in your plan lay out in the course of a day and make adjustments if you're noticing that maybe one of your plans is way on the other side of the park and you got something else you got to do right after. This is a great way to kind of refine those plans and help you create the perfect Disney vacation. And if you are working on planning the perfect Disney vacation, we got a lot of videos in the pipeline that are going to help you out. As I mentioned before, we're going to completely redo our Lightning Lane series. So we'll have Lightning Lane guides for all the different parks. And we're going to be redoing our No Lightning Lane, No Problem videos so that you can get a sense of how you can enjoy the parks if you're not using Lightning Lane. Maybe you want to detach from your phone for a little bit and just enjoy the parks the old-fashioned way. We're going to give you some tips to help you do that successfully. Of course, if you want to see those videos, all you need to do is subscribe to the channel and ring that bell, and you're going to be notified as soon as they come out. Before we go, I want to give a huge thank you to our Patreon family. Thank you so much for supporting what we do here at Ear Scouts and making videos like this possible. If you'd like to join them and get access to exclusive bonus content, including live recording sessions of our new podcast, head on over to patreon.com/Ear Scouts. And of course, I want to thank all of you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until next time, don't forget to think happy thoughts, everybody. We'll see you again real soon.